skeleton for his trouble.
And get his beat on.
Yeah, Thrash comes in for 4.
14 right?
Yeah.
And then
1. Got a 1.
card. Makes sense.
All of a sudden, Tom Ross behind on the board.
Go.
Game where he was the beatdown for quite a while. Bodyguard comes down. Ross picks up a couple life and a 2-3. Quick game 3 between Nico Hebke and Zach Hill, and it's Hebke with an army of flyers taking a 2-1 lead. So Zach Hill back against the wall.
The two most popular players in this top 8 in terms of their, following, both with their backs up against the wall.
Zach and Brian?
Yeah.
Reitzel sizes things up.
Hissing
Hissing Iguanar. And attacks with his 4-4 Thresh. Ross just takes it, right?
Yeah.
13. Done.
Osh's favor. Wow, Reitzel has to pick it up and read it. What is that?
So flying, first strike, vigilance.
Strike? Yep. And of course, it's an exalted creature, so that is
That's
3
two,
in the air.
That's 2 punches or 3 punches.
Yeah.
Go.
These 2 cards still there?
Reitzel deep in thought now. Reitzel
What am I gonna
studying.
do? You can see Paul's hands, which are just scraped up. He's been just swimming and having a great time. He is just
Yeah, look
scraped
at the
raw
ribs.
from coral.
Yes. All right. Attacks with his Thresh.
That is a sideboarded card, I'm fairly certain. No, he started the Asher's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Ross looking over, hoping that's good enough.
I'm impressed with his composure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around for a long time. He's played on the Pro Tour before. This is not. He was near the top tables in the last time the Pro Tour was in Hawaii.
So, it was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I believe we're in Reitzel's main phase still. Reitzel is sizing things up. I'm pretty sure what he's trying to figure out is what to do with his Michaeloff. Because he has Michaeloff in hand. He's got that 3-4, he's got the 2-3 flying, exalted, first striking vigilance creature on the other side of the table, which is going to kill him in 2 hits. So how quickly can Michaeloff get the job done? His opponent's on 13. Looks like Border Post comes down. Then that last card in his hand is a Michaeloff. All right, what do you sacrifice?
Is there something he wants to grow back? He can eat the carrion thrash.
He can eat the thrash. He's got the 2 mana to grow something back. He may or may not want to eat the hissing iguanar because its ability to do little pings and damage is potentially useful. This is tricky. His opponent's on 13, and Paul is, I think, dead on board, right? Is he basically playing for the top of his deck? Like, I don't think
he's
he's
dead in 2 turns.
But he only gets 1 more attack phase, right?
Right.
He's already attacked this turn. His opponent's on 13. There's basically, can he do 13 next turn? Like, how big can Michaeloff get?
He can get it to a 10-10.
That's not 13. Oh, is he 1 short?
10-10, and you would lose 2 life.
Yeah, so he can effectively threaten to put his opponent to 1 next turn, but he cannot He cannot actually
which is
lethal.
what he's doing.
Right. So the Iguanar is going to see 2 of those creatures die for 2 points. That'll drop Ross to 11.
He grace on the
9?
bag.
For 2.
He returns Elvish Visionary to his hand.
2 creatures.
I think the previous life total must have been wrong. So Ross is actually, so this Michaeloth is lethal. It's 5 to 7 apparently. Oh, so we've missed the carrying fresh attack. Yeah, Reitzel has basically played this to turn his Michaeloth lethal.
So,
Yeah, come on, nothing, he says. Oh, Mountain is not nothing. Colossal Might, Tom Ross, top decks the red mana that he needed to Colossal Might, fly over on the last possible turn, and Reitzel peeks, looks at the top card of his deck, and it looks like it must have been a goodie. Wow, Paul played that game really well. Set up his Michaeloth where Ross was going to be forced to chump block it. Right, Ross was going to be forced to chump block and lose his bodyguard. Basically, Ross had to draw a relevant card. Now, he did have red cards in his hand, so Mountain, there's sort of a lot of outs in his decks, given that any Mountain would counted. Ross drew the Mountain he needed, and all of a sudden, Tom Ross has put Paul Reitzel's back against the wall. Ross leads 2 games to 1.
You have a real colossal that you did not reference? Or a temp blocker, really, actually.
so it sounds like we're going to go over and look at the.
Yeah, I want to go back and see how Kibler and Conley Woods are doing. Let's go back where we started.
So I get to peek ahead here at an extra monitor, and I can see.
Oh, now everybody gets to see it.
Oh, there it goes.
Kibler's side of the board is a Trailblazer, a Death Duelist, a Wall of Denial, and an Executioner's Capsule. On the other side of the board, we also have Wall of Denial, Paragon of Amisha, and Pale Recluse.
There was a Scepter of Dominance in play, and that has gone away.
Capsule takes out the Recluse, so Kibler can get his beat on. Volcanic Submersion seems to have done that again. That Volcanic Submersion has been spectacular. Conley Woods has taken out a land creating a mana screw, has taken out a border post creating a mana screw, a Scepter, and a Scepter.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive Volcanic Submersion.
Going to trade the.
Yeah, Conley does decide to trade his Paragon for the Death Duelist, while Dial blocks 8 and Trailblazer, and no damage. Scornful Aetherlish comes down. Conley taps for Flesh Former and a Dark Temper to take out the attacker. So now,
Take out the Aetherlish, yeah.
Kibler has got the Trailblazer, but there's Wall of Denial.
Drag down the Flesh Former.
Drags down the Flesh Former. Doesn't want to see those 5-color shenanigans get going.
But Wall of Denial does its thing. No one can get through.
Right. It's funny, Kibler was very happy with this deck as he drafted it. He felt like 2 Wall of Denials and a Scepter meant that his opponent was never going to be able to kill him. I don't think he counted on playing against an opponent with a Lava Lance.
There's Kiss of the Amisha.
25?
I mean, Lava Lance is often good, usually good, but it is at its best when it's turn 20.
There's a
Canyon Minotaur?
Canyon Minotaur, yeah.
Yep.
Bant Sureblade.
Yep.
Kiss of the Amisha puts Kibler on the hook to get decked. I think decking is actually relevant in this game. Both certainly relevant for Kibler, right?
Yeah.
Kibler capable of playing defense, saving his Traumatic Visions to stop a lot of land.
There's an
but-
Artillery Sphere to sort of even it out a little bit. I don't know what happened in this game as far as mulligans or.
Kibler just has the one counterspell, right? He's got one Traumatic
One
Vision.
Traumatic Visions, one.
Oh,
Call to Heal
Heal.
there.
Manages to stop Grixis Charm from taking out his flyer.
Okay.
Yeah, Kibler's really been forced to defend his flyers because of the Wall of Denial in his opponent's deck.
Well, we talked about him not having
He
a
doesn't
ton
have
of
a
flyers.
ton. He's got some nice engineering parts. He's got some great defense, but doesn't have a lot of flyers to actually win the game with. So he's forced to defend them from each individual removal spell. In the second game, he used his Traumatic Visions to stop that very same Grixis Charm, and then wound up not having the visions for Lava Lance, so he lost to Lava Lance.
I
Here,
have to imagine he
Call to
doesn't
Heal is
want to
pretty good
use
timing.
his Traumatic Visions for anything but Lava
I
Lance.
completely agree.
And it'll be tricky, I think, for Conley to put him under enough pressure to
Right.
force him to use his Traumatic Visions elsewhere.
I mean, Conley pulled it off in the second game, apparently. Kibler felt like, I'm going to get decked if I let this Grixis Charm pick off my flyers. And even now, like, he defended the Trailblazer, but it's not like he can attack with it. There's still a wall of denial over there. Conley's got all his colors.
Conley.
Is it good?
16.
Go.
Hits in for
Conley's
2.
going to take 2.
Can't block the first striking sure blade.
That is nothing for Conley. 3 lands in his hand. 2, 4, 6, 9 lands in play.
14.
He's not taking a lot of damage very quick, though.
Conley's up 2 games to 0 here.
25 to 14 are the life totals.
12.
Conley now at 12.
Sure.
There is
Go.
Filigree Sages.
And there's the other Recluse.
Gets soul
Oh, soul manipulation. That's really good
Bringing
for
back the
Brian.
Scornful Ether Lich, which
Now-
is a way to bust through the wall of denial.
Yes,
also.
it is. He stops the 4-5 reach blocker from coming down. He picks up another potential attacker. This is the way Kibler drew it up.
10.
Still picking away for 2 of damage. Now he gets to add the Ether Lich back to the board.
Go.
Make sure he has Traumatic Visions mana up.
Does he in fact have visions in his hand? Yes, he does. Kibler has Traumatic Visions in his hand, so things looking really good for Brian here. Looks like he's going to force game 4. Still got a long road to come back, but this game is going just the way he drew it up. So 4 damage. Is Conley down to 4 now? Or is he on 6?
He just took 6 there, right? Took Filigree Sages, Ether Lich. There's Esperzoa.
Esperzoa. That should do it. Ah, Slave Driver.
Get 6.
Kibler sizes up his attack.
Oh, is that like all?
I'm not sure if that's okay. That's fine.
Grixis Slave Driver sticks.
So order post.
Sure.
Picks up his order post for the
We're going to go watch Game 5 between Hebke and Zach Hill. Zach has sent it to Game 5, wins Game 4. So 2 apiece.
ring.
Looks like an O-ring on the Slave Driver.
Still gives it 2-2.
Lines up 3 attacks. Trailblazer, Esperzoa, and Ether Lich. So the wall can clearly block 1.
He's Esperzoa, he's taking 4 here.
Yeah. He's going to have to what? Chump block the Lich with the black 2-2? Take 2? Or he can take 4 down to 2. No really good answers here. Conley Woods is going to get 1 more turn. He's hoping to draw Lava Lance, but
Take 2.
we know...
He does chump block with
But
the
it's
Yeah.
not the length, right?
I don't have it yet.
Go.
Have Traumatic Visions, I assume.
Yeah, Conley Woods hoping to top deck Lava Lance, but no.
shows him that he's got
Wow,
3 lands.
handful of land. All right,
All my
Brian
lands.
Kibler has won this game. We are going to go to table C. We're going to watch game 5 between Mikkel Hebke and Zach Hill. Over here, Kibler smiling a little bit. He's on the scoreboard. He is still down 2 games to 1. But he's on the scoreboard. Got to win the next 2 if he wants to go to the semis.
Sorry, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Says a quick hi, apologizes for the bathroom trip. That's okay, Brian. We were moving the cameras away from you anyway. We're moving the cameras over there. Zach Hill is on the right of your screen. Mikkel Hebke is on the left. So, Zach Hill, we've talked about this story a couple of times. Zach is a policy analyst on a Luce Fellowship. He's actually living in Malaysia right now for a year, helping out with policy issues there. He's been playing Magic for a while. He's a very well-known writer on the free side of Star City games. He designs a lot of decks that other people have won with, but now this weekend, it's him doing the winning. You see 48 pro points. Really a breakthrough weekend for him. He hasn't had that top 8 before. He had, Grand Prix second place, losing to Nakamura. But here he is.
Said he played a lot more Magic going away from the United States and moving to Malaysia.
Wow. Yeah, he really talked in, if you go back and watch the Deck Tech with him, about how Magic helped him sort of meet the locals. Found a Friday Night Magic store, let it be known online that he was moving there, and all these people came out to introduce themselves and sort of open their arms and bring him into the Malaysian Magic community. So yeah, he's been playing a lot of Magic. Got here with a 5-color Cascade deck in Block Constructed, sort of all the way up to Cruel Ultimatum, had a Nicol Bolas in his deck, figured whoever abuses Bloodbraid the most is going to win. He thinks they abuse it the most. Actually think Conley Woods' deck might abuse it a little better, but there you go. In draft, he wants to be white if he can. He's happy to audible into 5-color. In this particular draft, he got past Tower Gargoyle, took that as a sign to go into Esper, opened a Banefire, so he's, Esper with a splash, and there you go. Other side of the board, Mikol Hebke, the 22-year-old from the Czech Republic, lives in Prague. First top 8, not his first Pro Tour. He's sort of been around as part of the really burgeoning Czech scene. Martin Juz has been putting up consistent results for about a year now. We saw Zadokai make the top 8 in Berlin. We saw Bohan almost make the top 8 here and built the deck that Hebke made. Hebke got his draft advice from Martin Juz that said, go blue-white. So he first picks Death Duelist, and he forces blue-white. Hebke's also been on the Czech national team. He's been here in Honolulu. He's been, sunbathing at the beach a little bit, really waiting for, and really just enjoying the tournament. Played 5-color Control in Constructed. Both of these guys got here with 5-color Control decks and Alara Block Constructed. He's a student and making his Pro Tour debut. Very first Pro Tour for Mikol Hebke. Now here he sits in his Pro Tour debut, 1 game away from the semifinals. He's won 2 games. Zach Hill has won 2 games, and the winner of this match goes to the semis where they'll face either Brian Kibler or Conley Woods. A blade comes down on turn 2, the Hush Blade. Zach counters with a protection from green Zombie Outlander. Pretty good answer.
Go.
Hebke has no turn 3 play, though he does have all 3 colors for his band deck. Outlander attacks for Zach Hill.
He's going to fortify with a... no Esper Stormblade this turn. Instead, Parasitic Strix, drain you for 2.
Oh, wow. Playing it pretty aggressively. I guess you can always trade the Strix for the Hush Blade, even if it goes to 3-2. Yep, Messenger Falcons. Exactly what Hebke wants there. And Zach does it in trade. Makes sense. Now Zach no longer has the option of blocking the green creature on the other side of the table, so presumably the ghoul gets in there for 2 more. 14 to 22. Oh, did Zach just ship the turn?
Zach shipped the turn. He's sitting with full manipulation, and he's got
no white mana is what he's got.
Yeah.
He's got a Stormblade in his hand, which is exactly what he would want with this pretty aggressive start. But he played it to go aggro, really needs to draw white mana. His hand just a border post for Hebke. So Zach does not get the opportunity to soul manipulation. They're trading 2 for 2, so Zach's still sort of winning here. 5th land for Zach. Okay. And, there's the Stormblade. You're right, you don't need white mana for that. He just chose not to because he wanted to sit on soul manipulation. My bad.
And he,
it's only blue that's the requirement. Right. It's the first strike.
Blue and then black-white hybrid, and then he's got soul manipulation for the Parasitic Strix sitting in his graveyard.
Wow. I'm sure he'd still feel better if he had a little bit of white mana, but you're right.
Sure he would.
Zach is totally content with the way this deck is played out.
So just, I heard from Tim Pfeiffer via Twitter.
Yeah.
Tim's at the Games and Gizmos in Redmond. He's watching the Honolulu finals, eating pizza and drafting, and says, thanks, Watsy.
Wow. That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. I think they were set up for about 50 players there. They have a special feed for the finals coverage.
Wow. All right. Where are we now?
Seventh mana for...
Oh, you accelerated into that? Okay.
Yeah, Hebke paid full price for a border post so that he could get to 7 here.
Oh, and there's an obelisk of Alara.
obelisk.
That is not soul
You cannot soul
manipulatable.
manipulation that. Exactly.
Well, he's in a chance.
Wondering what he could have had.
Ouch. That is not the way Zach drew this up. I like this play. Sit on soul manipulation. If he stops a creature, he's got a couple of aggressive attackers, but Obelisk of Alara was not part of the plan.
And so now he can loot.
Game
He
5.
can gain 5, or he can pump
Make somebody
4.
try. Pump 4 is pretty good.
Doesn't seem like it's the time for that just yet.
Well, it'll hold off everybody but the pro-green guy if he needs it to, right? You threaten that and then game 5.
Gonna block the sword.
All right, Hebke decides to trade his Falcons for the Stormblade, so he
Go
takes
10.
2 down to 10. Ghoul versus Obelisk is not a good race for Zach Hill. Dreadscape Zombie gets him up to 4 power, but still going to be losing ground to the life gaining from the Obelisk.
Also on Twitter, Krovax the Crazy wants to know why Kibler is so loud. He's not even on screen.
Anyone asking why Kibler is so loud clearly has not met the man. He is who he is.
Zach
Good
would have felt a
times.
lot better about this match 1 turn ago.
Yes. Obelisk's an issue. It's about the only thing Hebke could do there, too. Had to be basically some sizable non-creature threat.
All
right, here's
Cormorant.
Yeah, I assume you saw manipulation. Bring back the Strix
Down
here.
into Strix. Try to out-tempo him.
Right.